Will also go before Toronto City Council this week. It includes a landlord registry and new rules about repair requests and pest control, among other things. The advocacy group ACORN has been fighting for this for some time. I'm joined now outside City Hall with member Donna Borden. Donna, I appreciate your time, and let me ask you about this bylaw. It was approved in principle by council back in December. What exactly will it mean for both renters and landlords?
It's a big victory for the tenants in Toronto because now they have like a proper inspection in place so that they can live in decent housing.
All right, and your group has been fighting for this for well over a decade. Just how bad are some of those conditions in Toronto apartments?
We have tenants living in with mice, cockroaches, bed bugs, mold, no heat in the winter, no hot water, no working elevators, incinerators. They can't even put their garbage down because they lock them up. The landlords lock them up so they can't even put garbage down, to throw the garbage out. So it's a big victory for our tenants. There's lots to be done still, but it's a big victory.
All right, you mentioned there's a lot to be done still. Do you think that this new bylaw, can it be enforced? I mean, how will it be policed?
Well, they're going to hire new inspectors to go around and inspect the buildings, so there'll be regular inspections. What ACORN is also working on is something similar to Dine Save, Live Save, where you could put inspection signs, and so they'd have to have yearly inspections, and if they don't pass, then they can't rent their units out. So that's something else that we'll still be working on.
All right, Donna, I know you're happy to have the landlord licensing, but what are your concerns with this apartment bylaw?
We're concerned about the above guideline increase because the landlords apply for them just for little minor repairs that they do, and we're just concerned that once they're forced to do the repairs that they're required to do, that they've left for so long, that they'll be applying for above line increase, and then it'll be passed on to the tenants. So we're going to be pushing hard to have that adjusted, some changes to that, so that they can't just apply for increases just for any little repairs that they're required to do.
All right, and to battle that, do you think that perhaps rent control, is that needed? Right now that only applies to units built before November 1st, 1991. Would you like to see rent control extended?
Yeah, yes, we would, and we want rent control on the unit, not the lease. So when people move out, they can't just raise the rent to whatever they like. So that's another thing that we're working on as well, is real rent control, because we're going to have a major crisis here in Toronto if we don't do something now, because the rents are too high. The landlords are applying for increases left, right, and center. So we just want a safe, livable city for people to live in, healthy homes.
Sure. Finally, you're claiming victory today, but how successful do you think you will be on the rent control portion? That's the big battle moving forward?
I think ACORN can pretty much win anything they put their minds to. So we've been fighting for now 12 years, and we've done really well, and it's something that we won't give up, and we do have a lot of support. So we'll meet with with politicians, and we'll meet with councillors, and we'll really push and push and push until we can get some decent. Catherine Wynne needs to step up and get rid of the loopholes and help tenants live so that they can live in affordable housing, have more affordable housing.
Rent is on the rise.
Before it was $1,800, and this time it went up to $1,910.
Nitin Manga has been living in downtown Toronto for years, but this year he's paying over $1,000 more to rent his one-bedroom plus den. Condo.
So this time it has gone up by 15%.
A troubling reality some Ontarians are facing.
A growing number of tenant households. We estimate that it's almost 150,000 households now are not protected by this rent guideline.
So to help with this rent hike, the NDP is proposing a new law to protect renters and make housing more affordable. If you live in a building built after November 1991, landlords can hike your rent as high as they like. The idea that it would promote new construction.
They just put the rent the way they want.
And buildings built before that date are rent controlled and follow the Residential Tenancies Act, which caps rent increases at about 1.5% each year.
It gives everyone the basic guarantee that rent increases will have to follow the annual guideline.
A potential relief for renters who are struggling to keep up.
We're hearing increasingly stories of people that are in precarious situations. They're getting sudden jumps in their rent.
So with some landlords raising their rent by thousands every year, it's leaving some of their tenants looking for new homes, with the NDP calling this an economic eviction.
We're actually going through the process right now. Now we got to go find a real estate agent and start looking again.
I'm thinking moving out.
The NDP will table their bill Monday, but in a statement, Ontario's housing minister says they've already taken similar action. Quote, "My staff are already developing a plan to address unfair rises in rent costs by delivering substantive rent control reform in Ontario as part of an ongoing review of the Residential Tenancies Act." Ashley Carter, Global News.